Man, welcome back. Finally, it's been a little bit of time, but things have kind of been crazy, and schedules have been off the chart with all kinds of just stuff, right? And just stuff that was getting in the way. But we're back with the next episode of Spartan from the Inside, and none other than Richie Rodriguez, fresh
Morning,
off
everybody.
of that New Jersey Ultra Trifecta Weekend that so many people are still talking about. I would have to believe if there's a race this year that's going to give people some PTSD, that's the one.
The goal was I wanted people to be talking about this one over Killington. Normally, Killington's
Yeah,
the one that does it for everybody, but I think this one might have taken the cake for this year.
yeah. I mean, I, I hope so because if Killington can surpass this, like we know it's going to be hard. I mean, Killington is just hard, right? It can be
Yeah.
perfect weather. Everything can be perfect in Killington, and it's just going to be hard, right?
Yeah.
This one was hard with bad weather and all of the things that go along with it, right? And so, yeah, I'd have to believe this is this is certainly at the top of the heap right now. They're going to have to work really hard to get past this one as the hardest race for 2026 in the U.S. for sure. So, but we're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about my personal top three favorite events, right? And that is Colorado Springs Ultra Trifecta Weekend coming up. You guys are just a couple not far out of travel. You do have one stop before you get to Colorado Springs. You're actually the event director for the Austin DECA coming up, and I believe you travel
Yeah.
tomorrow for that, right? And then you'll come back, and then you just a few days you'll be heading out to Colorado Springs, right?
I'm super excited for it. I try and get out there, especially with everything that Colorado has to offer. I'm so
Oh,
happy to be,
telling you,
part of that
telling you,
event this
man.
year.
Yeah, I mean, I like people are gonna laugh when I say this. Like, I think probably my favorite venue still is it's a toss up between McCormick Farms in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and Palmerton, Poconos, Blue Mountain, Pennsylvania. They just have a spot that's very near and dear to my heart. And I mean, again, venue owners, in the venue staff in Fayetteville at McCormick Farms is world class. But a very close third, maybe tied for second, is Fort Carson, Colorado Springs, for exactly what you said. Like I love going out there because of just that area, right? The whole area. It's a great facility. It's a great venue for us to have an event at. Um, every year, people leave that event. Maybe it's their first time doing a beast. Maybe it's their first time doing an ultra, and they're thinking, "Oh, it's Colorado Springs. It's a base. What's it gonna? How bad can it be?" And it never fails. That
Yeah.
event, this venue punches people right in the mouth. Right, Mike Tyson said it best. Everybody has a plan to get punched in the mouth, and Fort Carson punches you in the mouth.
It
Right,
definitely
it's
does.
tough. It's tough. So, what's some of your favorite parts about this venue?
My God, there's so much that I could really add to this. You get a little bit of everything with a venue like this. You get really nice flat running where you can really open up. You'll have I like to describe it as rolling hills. Some people might describe it as a few steep climbs, but
Yeah,
between the variety of running and all the cool features everywhere that the military has, like there's no cooler place to run.
I'm telling
It's
you, man.
easily, like you said, top three places.
Yeah, it's fun, and they're very involved, right? And so, I mean, again, they bring out those static displays and put them up out in front of registration, which make great pictures and great photos. And you run way down deep in this training range, and this it's like this big giant. It's just a huge bowl, right? And
Yeah,
you've got to climb down to the bowl, into the bowl, and you've got to climb out of the bowl, and you do it a few times, right?
yeah, that's for sure.
And so, all right. So again, I think again, we talked about a little bit about some of those other venues that we both like, and we talked about like Jersey and how difficult Jersey is. But I think every venue has its own personality, right? And if you had to sum up or describe the personality of Fort Carson, what would you say that is?
Everybody would agree that I would use the word bipolar. I would say bipolar because one day you can show up race day morning and it's 70 degrees, a beautiful day for running, and within an hour that weather that comes over Cheyenne
Yeah,
Mountain will change
yeah.
the course of the entire day. You know, it's something that you can do the best you can to plan for, but realistically, that area has a mind of its own, so it will change every single hour of the day you're out there.
It sure will, man. It's and it's like it's one of the few venues that we go to where, as an event director, well, let me back up. Like event directors in the outdoor space, right, such as what we do, you're constantly looking at weather, right?
Yeah.
It's the one thing that you can track and follow and pay attention to and try your best to plan for, right? But again, it's the weather. Like and there's no switch to turn things on or off. There's no knobs to dial it down a little bit or turn it up a little bit. You get what you get, right? But this is one of the few venues that we go to. You've been there. I've been there. That you spend more time watching the weather every single day than you do anything else. Like it's
Yeah.
you could essentially almost hire someone and set them in front of a computer with two or three big monitors and different weather apps up on each monitor, and have somebody literally just track the weather every day for you and keep you abreast of what's going on. That's how much time we spend paying attention to weather at Fort Carson, right? And we should have got Dan Welch on here because, like, he's come out there to, I've had to leave early a time or two, and he's filled in for me because, again, he's been there more than anybody in the company. But like, he always draws that short straw. Like,
Yeah.
he gets the short straw on the weather. And when you're having to navigate and manage thousands of people, in a venue at an event, and again, there's really nowhere to send people but back to their cars. If they're out on course, it's really try to crawl up under an obstacle or something, right? That's all you can do.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
Either that, jump into one of our crates or something, put the cover on. I've seen it all when it comes to people trying to
Yes.
hide from the weather there.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk a little bit about numbers for the event and kind of what people can expect coming in. So we're doing a sprint, a super, a beast, and an ultra, right?
Yep, a real
Correct?
good
Yeah.
ultra trifecta weekend.
Ultra Fecta Weekend, right? And so tell everybody what to expect. Let's start with the sprint and work our way up to the beast. Like what should they be looking for? What should they be wrapping up training and getting ready to taper for?
So for the sprint, we're gonna have it at 4 miles, 20 obstacles. So it'll have around 700 feet of climbing. So a real good introduction into everything that we put out there. It's going to be a good time. It's a good entry level event. That if this is your first time running a Spartan race, like this is definitely a great venue to experience everything that we have to offer. For the super, we're looking at just under 7 miles with about 1,200 feet of climbing, 26 obstacles, which again another great introduction to everything that we do. If you're a little bit more seasoned or you like, a little bit more of a challenge, you can go with the Beast, which is sitting at about 13.8, 13.9 miles, about 2,400 feet of climbing with 31 obstacles, 31 real exciting obstacles. And that's, where you're going to really see the variety of everything that we have to offer. And then if you're like you and I, that you're just always gonna go out there for a challenge. You want to do whatever the hardest thing is out there. We have the ultra, which is gonna have just under 5,100 feet of climbing. It's gonna be 30.7 miles. Your first lap will be around 17 and a half miles, and then your second lap will be just under 14 miles. You'll have 35 obstacles on your first lap, 31 obstacles your second lap, for a total of 66 obstacles, which makes for a fantastic
Wow.
day of really challenging yourself out there.
It does, right? And yeah, I think you said that elevation number, right? And people that have been there before are like, where do you get that? It's there. Like that's the great part about it is like you roll in, man. You're like, oh man, this is going to be a good day. It's going to be easy. And then you finish that first lap, right, on that ultra, or you finish that beast, and you're like, holy cow, it's there. There's plenty of places to get elevation there. And the great part is here is I think while the climbs aren't long, they're all really steep,
Yeah.
right? They're very steep and technical, right? And so Yeah, it's definitely got some climb there, which is awesome. I can't
Well,
wait to see the
one big
feedback
thing
out of it.
that yeah, one big thing that people really underestimate, especially like on the Beast where it's only, 2,300 feet. A lot of people forget that you're already at a very high elevation. So the
Yeah,
running
you're
is
over six
already going
thousand
to be
feet.
hard as it is. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing I think people underestimate, and you shouldn't. Like, I mean, maybe they don't, and I just think they do. But like, if you're just traveling out for the race weekend, unless you're going to be there for 7 to 10 days or longer, you're not going to acclimate to the elevation if you're not from elevation. You just don't have time, right? It's
Nope.
just not there. And so I think I think people don't think about it, or if they do, they underestimate it. The fact that they're starting at 6,000, a little over 6,000 feet, and then adding all of that into it, your breathing definitely, well, let's say this, your heart rate is definitely going to probably be in a different zone than what you think it's going to be in. So,
That's for sure.
um, any unique obstacles or anything you want to call out on this, or make people aware of? Kind of a little sneak peek.
So I mean, I like to kind of keep things a secret, but it's become a bit known this year that one of my favorite things has become having a barbed wire into Olympus into another barbed wire, and it's something that sounds so simple, but it really gets a lot of people mentally,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
because you're crawling on your hands and knees, and then you have such a physically demanding like upper body obstacle where you really have to hold yourself up when you've just been crawling on your elbows, and then getting right into another crawl. It can really get you mentally.
Sure
Another
can.
thing, it's like for the ultras, which they should be expecting this. We're gonna do the old school double sandbag carry in there, which is gonna have plate drag directly in the middle, which is another thing that I've just fallen in
Ooh.
love with doing all year long, and
Yeah.
I think we're gonna keep that going all year long. We're
Yeah.
not gonna stray away from that. Another thing,
Yeah.
for like
Yeah. Go
all the
ahead.
distances, they'll have they're gonna have on the main sandbag carry. They'll have a random obstacle placed in the middle, and I'm not gonna call it out. I'll let everybody show up and find out what that obstacle is gonna be. That'll be mid loop on that sandbag carry.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Can't wait to hear. I'm sure we'll see it because Richie will send some videos out. I'm sure about that. So, um, all right. So talk a little bit about course again. I think we need to get into some of the more, I guess, confusing details. Obviously, it's a military base, right? And normally, getting on a military base, you've got to go to a pass office. You got to get a pass, unless you're in the military. If you're military or DoD or something like that, then you obviously have an ID card. You can go right through the gate. Um, how hard or how challenging is it for people to get on for this event on Saturday and Sunday of race weekend?
It should be a pretty smooth transition for them. They'll come in through Gate 6 right off of Highway 115, and it's obviously going to be guarded there with, military police and all of that, but we're going to have a plethora of parking attendants just being out there really directing everybody on where to go, which road to take. So it shouldn't be too hard for everybody. Now, if you go through the wrong gate, I'm not sure if they're actually going to let you in, but you probably won't make it to the race because it's such a large base that you will spend all day long driving around. So it's really important that you figure out what the address is, which will be listed in anything that gets sent to all participants, and make sure that, like, honestly, the day before or the day that you get there, take a drive and just drive past the gate so that you understand where you're coming through. Because again, if you go through any other gate and you get onto that base miraculously, you'll spend
Yeah.
all day long driving around just to try to make your way back out.
Yeah, so the I think for some just for details sake, we can share a little bit of that now even. So the pass office or the visitor center is at gate 1, right? Off of
Yeah.
115. You're going to drive past that. You'll go probably 2 miles. You'll come to it. There's another gate entrance that'll be on your left. Everything the base is always going to be to your left on 115. You'll go past gate 5, right? You'll go up over the hill. You'll go down. If you actually look out after you pass gate 5, you'll go up. When you get up to the top, if you start looking to your left, still the base, you probably see the whole course right from there.
Yeah.
Down in that bowl, you'll drop down and go back up. When you get to the top to the next red light, that's where you'll make a left at gate 6. And for whatever reason, every year it's weird, man. Like GPS takes people all over the place. Gate 6 off of 115 in Wilderness Road, right? If you just look for Gate
Yeah.
6 Wilderness Road, it should get you to the right spot and will certainly save you a lot of hassle. If you try to go through another gate and you're not military or DOD, you will have to have a pass from the pass office. That in itself can take 15, 20 minutes or longer, depending on the number of people waiting for passes. And then to your point, if you go in gate one, it's a 20-minute drive easily to from gate one over to Wilderness Road, right? And that's because again, on base, if the speed limit says 35 and you're doing 37, they're going to pull you over, right? You have to
Yeah.
follow the speed limit on the base, and they're very, very strict about it. But yes, allow yourself time. I think the easy way to remember it is Gate 6 is open to the public on Saturday and Sunday for race weekend. If you try to come in on Friday, you will have to go through security or go through the pass office to get a pass. If you are military or DOD and are on post, then you'll come from post back up by Butts Army Airfield and up Wilderness Road from the other direction, and you'll park on the opposite side of the road from everybody else. So the military and DOD park on one side of the road behind base camp. Everybody else parks on the other side of the road across from Festival. But the good thing is as you know, we can park 10,000 cars here. There's so much parking here. Parking
Oh,
isn't an
easily.
issue, right? And
Yeah.
so we don't you don't have to worry about that. And it's a short walk from any of the little parking areas. Like you're literally just right across the street, Wilderness Road. And by the way, Wilderness Road is closed down except for people ingressing for parking and then egressing from parking out. There's no open traffic to Wilderness Road, so they close it off at the other side so people can't drive onto post. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's probably the big thing. Any other recommendations for arrival? And I think there's a lot of buzz out there about the new heat times. Right, it's not in the 15-minute blocks anymore. It's in those 1 hour blocks. Any advice on anything else on arrival?
I mean, again, it's just regardless of changing the heat times, I'm still a big fan of arriving between an hour to 90 minutes before your scheduled time to go off. Like it's just nobody likes to have to rush
Yep.
to the start line because that's when you're gonna leave things behind that you need. It's better to show up and be waiting around and know that you're fully prepared and ready to take off. Especially with us giving everybody that hour to be able to just jump into any heat. If you're going off at 11,
Yep.
be there by 10 o'clock, 9:30. Get yourself prepared. Make sure that you familiarize yourself with everything. Because again, we can park 10,000 cars here. If you show up and you rush out of your car and you just take off, you're probably gonna forget. After a few hours, the exact placement of where you parked your car. This at least gives you more than enough time to
Yeah.
really get familiar with everything. Get into the festival area, see what the partners have to offer because a lot of times people will forget some gels, forget electrolyte packets, and we always have partners within our festival area, constantly
Agreed.
giving things away that could really benefit you during the race. So I
Yeah.
would I would always say 90 minutes before show up. Really make yourself prepared before starting off.
Yeah, and it gives you time to warm up, right? I mean, get moving, just yeah, get sorted out, and start with a clear mind. Not a, I mean, if you're already exhausted, mentally exhausted because you're late or trying to rush in, really not much is going to improve from that point on, right? It's just going to be a long day for you.
No.
So, what's Richie's pro tip for this event for somebody coming, regardless of what distance they're running?
Man, just honestly have fun. Really enjoy everything that this venue has to offer. Because being somebody who hasn't been in the military, it's a really cool place. Between the static displays that the military puts out there and just the crowd that this event itself brings out. Like it's
Yeah,
a place to really socialize. Where with a lot of venues, like we just talked about at the beginning of this Jersey, you want to usually just come in and go out because you're so exhausted. This is a place where you want to hang out, you want to socialize with everybody, you want to try and get together with people and go out and run in groups. It's
I
a
agree.
real good place to really get to know the people that you're running with, and the
Yep,
area you're in because it's not every day you're gonna get to go walk into a tank or walk into some kind of a Black Hawk helicopter and like everything is just so cool about this base. Take the
yeah,
time to really see everything.
yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, it's a great venue. I would add to that that if again, if you're going to be out there early, let me be clear with this. If this is your first beast or your first ultra, right? I would not recommend doing the Manitou incline before you do it, right? If this is your
No.
first beast or first ultra, then if you've got Sunday, if you're gonna chill out and just check out local Colorado Springs, or you're gonna be at the event and be there Monday, definitely check out Manitou Incline, right? You've got that, you've got Air Force Academy, you've got so much going on, Or I've got a better idea. And I was going to wait till the end to bring this up, but I feel this is a great opportunity to bring this up. My best recommendation would be go out Saturday, right? Or if you're not running on Saturday and you're just going to do a super sprint on Sunday, come up to Denver and do the DECA with me, because that's where I'll be at DECA Denver on Saturday. It's a great warm up, and then you can go back down to Colorado Springs. It's only an hour and 15 minutes. Go back down to Colorado Springs and be ready for your super sprint on Sunday. I mean, that sounds like a hell of a plan to me, right? So, but
That's
yeah,
the perfect
nonetheless,
way to warm up, honestly.
it'd be a great warm up, right? Great warm up. But again, nonetheless, there's a lot to do in Colorado Springs, right? So I would say my pro tip is, man, don't forget to check out the local attractions if you have time while you're out there, right? I get it. Some people just they're in on Friday afternoon and out Sunday afternoon and don't have a lot of time. But if you do, there's a lot to do. Manitou Incline being number one on the list, and then probably Pikes Peak would be my number two. So,
I
all
put
right,
Pikes at number
go ahead.
one for me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure you'll probably visit a couple times while you're there,
That's for sure.
right? So I don't know if I've told you, I'm flying out to Colorado Springs on Sunday of load in, right?
Hmm.
And then I'm doing the Boulder 10K in Boulder on Monday because that's Memorial Day. And then we'll be back in Colorado Springs Monday afternoon, Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're going to come hang out with you Tuesday and Wednesday, right?
Nice.
And then drive up Wednesday afternoon or Thursday, drive up to Denver to get ready for DECA on Saturday. So while I won't be there on race days, I will be there before race days, helping out and kind of doing whatever we can do to lend a helping hand. So, any recommendations on gear? Anything that you would say specifically somebody would want for this event versus any other event? Or again, you know what you train with. Bring what you train with. Come prepared.
For sure. I like I mentioned earlier, it's the weather can be really bipolar. So even if you see the weather that it's going to be nice and sunny all day long, I would recommend bringing, like a really thin windbreaker or something because we anybody that's been here knows at one point or another that hail and rain is going to roll in. If you're going to be out there for a long period of time, you're going to want that coverage because that weather will drop fast and it will get chilly very fast. So it's better to be prepared than to just wing it and say screw it, I'm gonna just go out with my tank top because
Yeah,
it's gonna be sunny all day long. I would
yeah,
say just throw that in there, and then of course the obvious good trail shoes because once that rain comes in, that mud is slick. There is no getting
yeah.
grip for anything, so you want to give yourself any advantage you can to make sure you finish that day.
Yeah, I would say the one thing is you said it. When it rains, that dirt, everything is super good runnable terrain here, right? Until it rains, and
Yeah.
then it's like glue, right? You're just in it. So, yeah, yeah, be prepared. That's all I would say. So, um, any notable call outs for partnerships and festival that people should be tracking on? Just things that would be something they may be seeing for the first time or that they haven't seen yet.
So I mean, in our festival area, we'll have a couple people that everybody's familiar with, like Team RWB, which fantastic charity to really become a part of, or if you haven't heard about them, a good team to really see what they're all about. We're gonna have Dealers of Hope there, which again, another fantastic group that if you ever need somebody to get out and run, if you need a reason to be inspired, go check out everything that they do. They're really going to open your eyes to we can all do this regardless of what we have going on. We're gonna have Charlie Gel, which is like a topical magnesium gel that it's gonna have a bunch of samples in our festival area. But as for like festival highlights and any kind of demos or giveaways, we're gonna have advanced cryo there, which is gonna be athlete recovery. So after you're done running either the Beast or the Ultra, I would 100% suggest checking
Yeah.
them out. And then
Yeah.
the number one, we're gonna have ABC as Athletic Brewing Company. One of the
Yes.
greatest things that somebody who doesn't drink alcohol, I love me an ABC. Go
Yeah.
check them out, try out their million different flavors. I would highly suggest, like I mentioned earlier, taking some time, show up early, and really just taking a walk through around festival and seeing all the different partners and stuff that we have, because you're definitely going to walk out with a good amount of goodies.
Yeah, we'll have our some military partners there. I know I just sent a big list of race codes to the Special Operations Command there, right? 10th Special Forces Group. So I know they're going to
Yep.
bring probably 50 or so 50 or so team members out to run one or both days. Um, yeah. So again, I think it's awesome. The funny thing is one of the people that you and I have been communicating with that we deal with every year. There's Chief Graber, but he's the chief of the base police, right? He is the law on base, and
That's
he's
right.
he's got like 20 of his staff that are going to come out and run at some point in time over the weekend. So pretty stoked to see them getting out and getting involved. Now, if we could just get Chief Graber out there to run, and I'm going to share this clip with him when we're done to let him know we've called him out officially on the podcast to put some heat on him, but he ain't going to do it. So good stuff. So I think um, if so, again, let's talk real quick about just kind of that. We're getting down to training time is about over. You're going to taper a little bit before you get to this, and you got kind of that rally cry, right? What's your rally cry to those first time runners coming out, whether it's their first sprint, first super, first beast, first ultra? What are you going to tell them?
I would say start hydrating multiple days before the event. With us being so high at elevation, you want to make sure that you are fully prepared, have your nutrition dialed in, because if you start trying to hydrate on Friday, you've fallen way behind, and you're definitely going to cramp up. You're not going to have a good time. So start to hydrate as early as possible. Don't try to start bringing in any kind of new products that you saw at the store the day before. Bring what you know works for you, and make sure that you're carrying enough calories to really get you through it. If you're running, a beast or an ultra, and you're going to be
For
out there
sure.
for multiple hours, don't just rely on just plain water. Bring some electrolyte packets or
Agree.
some salt tabs or something. Make sure that you really prepare yourself to be out there for the full time.
Yeah, I funny you say that. I was listening or watching a podcast yesterday and they were really talking about electrolytes and the impact that electrolytes and hydration has, right? And they said a 1% reduction in hydration or a 1% loss of hydration and electrolytes equates to just over a 10% loss in performance capability, right? So think about
Yep.
that, right? And once you lose it, it's really hard to get caught back up, right? If you start going, into a deficit, and it can go south really quick. Because that's the other thing we talked about how crazy the weather can be. It can also be pretty warm and dry, right? And so at
Yep.
elevation, warm, dry, man, you don't realize it until sometimes it's too late. It really just sucks the life out of you pretty quick here. So, what about these veteran guys showing up? What about these people that come out here that have been out here before, or that are familiar with this, or have done? Maybe it's their 10th ultra, right, or their 20th beast. What advice can we give them?
I mean, my main thing is, lend that helping hand, especially for those who are running the open wave. If you're gonna see them all over the place, and it's brand new people that have never done one of our events, but are used to running longer distance. Lend a helping hand, whether it's advice on how to complete an obstacle, some anything along those lines. If you'll see people who show up alone because their friends build on them, invite them to come run with you, show them how to get through everything. Show them that we're more than just an event. This is a community, and
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
that you
Well, I was
meet
gonna say.
eventually is gonna become your friend there.
Yeah,
So just get together with anybody you see that's new and bring them out with you.
yeah. Live up to that community expectation, right? And that's really what it is. Now, again, if you're competitive or running in competitive age group, don't lend the helping hand because then that person will end up beating
Nope.
you, and you'll be disappointed when you're standing off the podium and they're on it. But yeah, nonetheless, it's a great community, and it's awesome seeing people out there, help and coach and kind of, you know, give some advice to new runners or to first timers that have never done Olympus or that have never done beat or that have never done bender, right? And again, you get to the obstacle and you're kind of like, wow, because I haven't been to a gym yet that has a beater, obstacle set up to practice on or to train on. So, not saying they don't exist. I haven't been to one. So, good stuff. Yeah, so Richie, I'm super stoked. Again, Colorado Springs. We both love this place. We both love the venue itself, and super stoked that you've got the opportunity to lead the charge into the Ultra Trifecta Weekend there this year. It again, having seen the map, having seen the layout of the obstacles, I know you've got a butt kicker of a course for everybody coming out. It doesn't matter if you're doing the sprint, right? It's going to be a hard sprint, right? You're going to get smoked on this
Yep.
sprint. So I'm super excited for it. I can't wait for everybody to get out there, and I can't wait for the feedback to come in, right? And so we can again see all the things that went on and all the excitement that this one creates. But appreciate everything you guys do. Appreciate you and your team, and I know you guys are going to make this one just another big one. And again, we say it, but this one may have some weather that can rival Jersey for sure. I think the one safe bet is it probably won't get as cold and the temps won't drop quite as fast. But here it's man, whatever comes over that mountain just comes over that mountain with fury. So best of luck to you and the group,
Yeah,
and I'll uh,
facts.
I'll see you on the ground out there for sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and yeah, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir. All right. Thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll again man, if we post this stuff on social today or tomorrow, shoot us some feedback. We love hearing it, and can't wait to see everybody out in Colorado Springs. See you guys. Bye.
Hell yeah. Later.